Hello and welcome to Dawn News English. I'm Nadia Naqi with you. We're once again with you for 20 minutes. On 20 minutes, we have with us Raza Haroon today. Raza Haroon is a very, I'd say, a politician who has worked more in Muttahida Qawmi Movement, MQM, and then he had joined PSP. He had held various portfolios while being in Muttahida Qawmi Movement, but today it seems he has left politics. But one always says once a politician is always a politician. Maybe you're taking a break, Raza. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me in your show, Nadia, and salam to all your viewers.
Walaikum assalam. We see you in a lot of Twitter spaces, and everyone wants to take a lot of insight from you, be it Karachi, be it the politics that currently you see the political landscape of the country. So I thought that this is the time that it's best to speak with you regarding why Karachi is not so political. When I say this, I mean that so much is happening right now in the entire country. You have Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf all set for a long march. We see Imran Khan, gearing up for it, and he says that he's going to announce a date very soon. He intends to probably put a lot of pressure on the current government. The current government, which is PDM plus Pakistan People's Party, they intend to take this government, the tenure, right till the end, have elections next year in October. We have the allied parties with the government, but at the same time, Karachi seems to be totally like a disconnect. Being the largest city of Pakistan, people in Karachi do not come out on the streets. They are not so political. They don't want to participate in what is happening. So do you think there is a despondency amongst the Karachiites? They've had enough of MQM, PSP, People's Party, and even PTI.
Your observations are too really, to the point. That's what has happened to Karachi over the past years, especially since 2013. Karachi is sort of disconnected politically with the entire country. Basically, for the reason that the issues that Karachiites face on a daily basis are not the same. They are not the same frequency with the national leadership. Whatever the PTI is campaigning about throughout the country, it's not city specific or people specific or people centered. Their campaign or their movement is about gaining power in Islamabad. Whereas Karachiites are politically very active when it comes to their own issues. When somebody speaks of Karachi issues, predominantly local government issues, predominantly municipal issues, their daily life solutions to the daily life problems, then the Karachiites become active. Be it Jamaat Islami in the past, be it the MQM, be whatever faction of the MQM that tried to establish themselves as a political voice for Karachi, you will see they all raise city-specific issues, urban-centered issues, civic issues, municipal issues. So at the moment, because the Karachiites don't feel connected to any political party, the currently so-called whatever the process of elections were in 2018, it's PTI. But what PTI failed to capitalize on was to capitalize on the biggest vacuum. They failed to capture that moment, and they have lost it now. And right now, Karachi is an orphan city as far as political leadership is concerned. Karachi is, as we say in Urdu, it's a lawaris city. Nobody cares for Karachi. So much so that the current government, which is of Shehbaz Sharif, the PDM, which MQM is part of the government, still, I don't see any clear mandate, clear development plans, clear plans for Karachi. Nothing has happened. So Karachi at the moment feels isolated.
You say Karachi is isolated. You say PTI has also lost that ground and could not actually capture the vacuum that was created after MQM became the MQM it is right now. But you must have seen the by-elections that just occurred, where Mahmood Maulvi from PTI, he had a considerable win. MQM was nowhere found. So why do you feel that when general elections are all set to happen, Karachi will not vote for PTI? PTI feels at present that they may score two-third majority, which of course includes Karachi, because the general elections are going to take place across the country.
No, I'm not suggesting at all that PTI will not, will lose their every vote. But what I'm saying is that the political voice of the city, a political voice like the MQM of yesteryears, not this MQM. This MQM is a dormant MQM. It's a muted MQM. It's not MQM even. I don't consider this MQM as an MQM. So as far as Karachiites are concerned, they will definitely vote for someone. But trust me, Nadia, even if the elections come in 2000, the Karachiites will vote for the party that will speak of their issues. If PTI is capable enough, if they succeed in raising their issues, Karachiites will vote for them. At the moment, if you see in Karachi politics, how the rise of Jamaat Islam, the popularity that Hafiz Naeem Saab has gained, it's why? Because Hafiz Naeem Saab is consistently and persistently for a number of years is raising city-specific issues. Be it of municipal issues, be it of local government issues. That's where the key is for Karachi.
Okay. When you say that, right now, any political party that speaks of the city issues, the civic issues that are enormous, to this mega city, Karachi will vote for them. So PTI has done this in the past. They are going to speak again of, probably K4. They might speak about the sewerage lines. They might speak about the public transport system. They might speak of all the issues, even the domicile issues, right? The same is done by MQM. The same is done by Mustafa Kamal of PSP, of which you were part of. So, and the same would go for JUI. That's, sorry, for Jamaat Islami, that's JI. Why do you then feel that people will still vote? Because MQM does the same thing. Everyone is doing the same thing. Yet they don't score the way they are supposed to, or people would feel they would.
The problem is what Karachiites right now feel. Their vote doesn't count. Doesn't matter whether you vote for MQM, Nadia, whether you vote for PSP, for PTI, for People's Party. Their vote does not count. It has got no weight in the policy-making arena. They have voted for MQM, they voted for PTI, they voted the president from this city, they voted the prime minister from this city. The governor was elected from the city as an MP, and then he became the governor. Four federal ministers were from there, from the same coalition government, the previous one. Right now, there are two federal ministers from MQM from the party. So, what the Karachiites will feel right now with the PTI specific, 2018, PTI had nothing to answer for. They were not in the government before that. Now, when they will come to Karachi, people will ask, I'm sure they will ask, what happened to the 1100 billion rupees announcement? Was it just a
package?
A figment of my imagination, delusionary announcement? What happened to the 165 billion rupees announcement? Another announcement that Imran Khan made, being the prime minister. No mega projects. Nothing has been delivered. K4 is still there. They are still, doing conferences on that, seminars on that. It's nothing to be found on the ground. So the people will ask the PTI and the People's Party and the MQM. They will ask about it. But, again, what choices do we have?
Okay. There is also this feeling amongst the Karachiites, because I've been going in the fields and asking who you're going to vote for and why would you vote for the person that, they choose. But there is this feeling that even if we vote, nothing is going to happen. What we just discussed in the beginning. So is it that Karachi's votes are basically always to make the leaders, climb to the chair or the office of the prime minister? You name it, be it Nawaz Sharif, be it Shehbaz Sharif, be it Asif Ali Zardari Saab, he was the president, but then he made the prime minister Yusuf Raza Gilani and Raja Parvez Ashraf. And then now Imran Khan. None of the prime ministers want to spend time in Karachi. They'd come for half a day, which is usually termed as a day-long visit for Karachi. Why is it they're not interested when they themselves realize that Karachi's vote is important for them to climb the chair of the prime minister, and B, for all the economic engine that Karachi is?
Basically, you are right to point out the despondency of the people. of the citizens, civilians who are in Karachi, who have got nothing. The Karachi issue basically is used, and now even I see the ethnic issue of Karachi is being used in the sloganeering. People are using different. I won't name any political leader, but they are now using the ethnic ethnic rhetoric as well. They've added to their political vision. I don't understand why they don't do it. I don't understand why PMLN don't take interest in Karachi. They've got pockets. Previously, if you have a look at the previous elections, PMLN used to win seats from Park Colony, Baldia area, from the defense area, from the Malaria area. There used to be 3 MNAs from PMLN from the city of Karachi. They have just lost interest. Similarly, PTI is the biggest. I don't know what their political, political understanding is. They were delivered Karachi in a platter. 14 MNAs. Imagine, nobody was. Leave how they got it, but 14 MNAs, and even then, they just left Karachi, just like Afghanistan. America left Afghanistan. After nobody's
But
asking.
what would the MNAs do? There is a provincial government that they never got along with, right? So what more can you do? You can hardly work through the,
Look, Nadia, I don't buy this. I don't buy. You are an MNA of your constituency. Yes, you do belong to a political party. It is your job. It is your duty to work with the provincial government and the local government, which is the right process, the right tool to deliver. If you have become an MNA and an MPA, regardless you are in the government or not, your responsibility is to your constituents. So why did they fail to develop an understanding with the provincial government? Why couldn't they do it? That's their political failure. They cannot just say, "Oh, sorry, we were not the provincial government." No, you were not the provincial government for the first 3 years. You were the federal government. The local government mayor Wasim Akhtar Saab was your coalition partner. You have got Sindh Infrastructure Development Company Limited. The governor was heading it, which was built, designed by Mian Nawaz Sharif to pump the federal funds into the city. You had these 3 options provided, and on the top of that, who was stopping you? The MNAs, the MPs to coordinate, to communicate, to collaborate with the provincial government, not politically, for the development of the city.
So on the current political landscape, Raza, there's a lot of relief that is going on. Imran Khan terms it as NRO 2, but we see that a lot of things are happening. People are coming back. Do you think, you just named Ishratul Ibad and the likes, all of those people from MQM who had left, minus Altaf Hussain, I'm still saying minus Altaf Hussain, we're going to come later on that. Do you think if they all come back or are allowed to come back, settled with all their cases and all, MQM can still become that power that it was in yesteryears?
I think it is a possibility. I would not bet on it. I would not blindly follow it. But I would say there is a possibility, provided they don't try to revive the 1984 culture. They don't try to revive and revisit the 1990s scenarios. They have to build on their mission and vision statement. They have to build on their marketing strategy. They need a good communication advisor. They should come out with proper contents, sentences, contents, what they have to say when they come into the public. They cannot just purely rely on ethnic support, sensationalize it, romanticize it, and try to always speak about the grievances and the whatever happened in the past. It is bad. It should be a reminder. It should always be a reminder. It's history of the party, but it's not for you to come out and say on every time you come. So yes, there is a possibility, provided they have a vision for the future. Stop discussing too much of the past. So yes, a new MQM, a new look, a new packaging, a new brand, a new message, but stay connected with your legendary whatever achievements you have done. Stay connected to your original message, which was to bring about middle class, lower middle class, working class revolution in the leadership. That was
So
the
do you
clear
see that
message.
happening? Do you see that happening? Raza, you're very connected with all your, former colleagues. Do you see that happening?
I see all of them wanting it, but I see all of them having big egos as well. I see all of them, knowing the fact that, in the coming years, if they stay like this, they will go into oblivion. They will be, forget it. Nobody will remember. They know this. They are not going to win the next election.
MQM is not the party that probably PTI is, for that matter. For MQM to have everyone back, you need permission, and you need permission from power corridors. That kind of discussion, has it started yet?
Well, yes, you are right. This is all we are discussing about what politics in Pakistan, and there is always an influence. So yes, I think their agreement, their blessings would be very much needed. Whether they have given it right now, whether they would like to give it in the future, but whosoever wants to start this process in the open, there has to be a blessing. There's no doubt about it. We cannot shy away from the fact that in Pakistan, of course, we are not living in Tokyo or Sweden or not even London.
Yeah.
So if you are living in Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, just it's a routine, normal factor. So we don't worry. I would not worry about it too much. I would be more worried, more concerned about these factions, these egoistic, supranational leaders, whether they would like to sit together or not. That is the main question. If that can happen, the rest is will based on your convincing powers. What you are about to do, then you have to convince, the party.
So if that happens and that materializes, would Raza Haroon come back and join?
Definitely.
Oh,
No doubt about it. Definitely. This is, look, Nadia, since 87, I have been associated with the MQM without any gaps. I came to London in 1994, went into exile, stayed connected to the MQM in exile. And, the conditions they were living here for the 13, 14 years, I know that. People used to work here, they know that. We never went for our public, we were never here for our personal benefits. We kept associated with the party. So, yes, Karachi is my passion. Speaking for the rights of Karachi is my passion. Working and serving for the people of Karachi is my passion. So yes, if there is any role, I would love to be.
Okay. There is a lot of hush-hush discussion, I'd say, or probably hearsay, that the MQM of yesteryears, the Supremo for the yesteryears MQM, had also, he was seen apologizing through a video on social media that was circulating. And earlier, there were hashtags saying that Altaf Hussain should come back, and he also should be given pardon. Just the way, and I'm talking about opponents of, different political parties writing that if Nawaz Sharif is allowed to come back, Maryam Nawaz is given her passport, then why not the founder of the yesteryear's MQM? Do you see that happening, and do you think that can make a difference?
The basic what you had just asked me is that if he wants to come back, he wants to return. Yeah. Confirm that first. If he wants to return, then yes, he should be allowed to return, provided whatever the cases are pending over there, he faces them in courts. What other hindrances are there? There has to be a negotiation, but it's all provided. This whole, we can start talking about it a lot on the, modalities, but the basic question would remain for him to first say, does he want to come back to Karachi, Pakistan, or does he want to just come back to MQM politics and run it from London? This is the basic question he has to answer. Because after all this, from he's out since 1992, almost 30 years. So 30 years, he has not been to Karachi, he has not been to Pakistan. So whether right now his appeal or his request for for pardon, is he implying he wants to come back to Pakistan? So that would remain. He has to clarify. Number one, what he wants. Number two, yes, of course, he's a Pakistani national. If he wants to go back, nobody will stop him. And then he has to face the cases. He has to, attend just like anybody else, and absolve himself, from all the all the allegations, cases, or whatever the deal will be struck. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have to.
And
But the
we
point
don't
would
even know
remain.
if there is a deal in the offing. We don't even know that.
We don't
That.
even know that. But what I'm saying, the discussion should be based around. Ask
Hmm.
him. People should ask him very clearly. Do you want to come back to the country? Is all about that,
Yes.
or do you want to stay where you are and do what? And
Yes,
then do what?
and control. And
And then do what?
so, but one thing is proven. We've always heard this, like minus one formula, right? But here, what happens when it is a minus one? The party structure just collapses. The vote bank is all shattered. Within the party, everybody just feels that he or she is the leader, better than the other one. And therefore the party is just there by name. It's not, people now say MQM is not even a political party. I mean, what do they have to offer? What are they? Everybody now terms MQM as a party that just wants to ally with one party or another, the one in power, get some ministries, get some things right for their own benefits, and not more than that, not for Karachi. This
You
is
are
this is the
absolutely right.
reputation they have now.
Very unfortunate that minus one, and it's not limited to MQM. Any party, tomorrow, everybody has to, go away one day. What will happen to PTI? Similar. What will happen to PMLN? Because when you rely on just one person for everything, then what you get when that person is minus for any reason, whatever,
Yeah.
then what happens? The party. What happened to Pakistan People's Party is very different. There you had a martyr.
Yeah, exactly.
There you had a name as a martyr. And then very unfortunately, Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto was also assassinated. So the party then got stronger behind that name. That became an emotional connection, a romantic connection, and a connection of ideology as well. Bhuttoism became a Bhuttoism. Whereas in MQM, it was a very different story. And similarly, in any other party, like in PTI, it will be a very totally different story. They've got so many groups and so many factions in PTI. If you speak to PMLN, there are still, at the moment, you can visibly see Miftah couldn't survive 6 months. Why? Because he was representing the other group.
Right.
Sardar Saab represent the Supremo.
Okay, last 2 minutes we have, Raza. What do you see could be the right recipe for Karachi in the general elections? Which party do you think, or in an entirely new party you're looking at?
If the general elections are happening in 2023, you don't have enough time to launch a new party and then organize it, strengthen it, and then so whatever will happen in 2023 will be among whoever the stakeholder is right now, and that will also depend on who wins the next local government election. If as we see in the recent news, Election Commission has rejected the
postponing the local government election.
Yeah. So if the local government is won by any political party, that political party or the coalition of that local government will have the most appropriate and the most positive chance of winning the 2020. That is the history of Karachi. So whoever wins the local government election, they will be very close to the people, serving the people at the union council level, the grassroots level. They will be the one who will be solving their issues, the problems,
right?
And they will have the better if they perform. Not like the KMC of Wasim Akhtar Saab. That was a failure. But if this government gets elected in the coming months, whoever comes in, be it the coalition government, be it one party, they will be the most favorable to win the next general election. If it's gone to 2024, my guess is it's not happening in 2023, it's happening in 2024. So that party will have, that coalition will have a fair chance to win.
Thank you so much, Raza. Unfortunately, our time is just over, but your 20 minutes are really amazing because you spoke of your heart and that you intend to come back if there is some kind of, reuniting MQM is happening. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. That's all for today. Allah Hafiz.